Okay, guys. So again, welcome everyone, and thanks for you guys one way or the other, either participating on the class or buying it after all. That what we want to do is technically answer you guys questions, and I want a lot of questions. We got until 1 p.m. sharp Eastern time to answer you guys questions. All right. So I'm going to start with the first question. I'm going to be posting the questions so you guys can see where we are. And then I'm going to be answering. Okay? So the first question is, in an ABC correction, which is not a flat of any sort, can the RSI reading for the B wave go below the point of the RSI reading of the A wave? All right, let's get back to the Forex charts, or to the charts technically. Usually what happened, Mary, is that's how you spot the flag. Because, wait, okay, 1 second. Well, I got a lot of questions in that one right there. So let's start with the first one. In an ABC, you're saying that if the RSI can go in the B below the A, right? That's your question right there. No, it cannot pass the beginning of the A. All right? In the ABC, it's the same on the waves. It cannot pass the beginning of the A wave. All right? Now, your second question, in the 10 RSI reading, which is the difference between a leading diagonal and the ending diagonal. There are no difference between both of them. It's the same. It's a phi swing or wave when you have to have divergency in either one right here. Like we say on the class, most of the times into a leading diagonal, in a leading diagonal, most of the times, the first leg is the biggest momentum, most of the times. Now, I got what if any of the guidelines to identify okay, a triangle, which is your third question, needs to be supported both in the market, let's say a contracted one. You need to see the triangle here, but also you need to see the triangle here. If you look at this triangle here, it is over here. You see? A, B, C, D, E. You see it, right? It cannot be broken. It needs to be supported in both scenarios, price and RSI. Now, if the trend line is broken, let's say, let me see if I got the question right. If you are laboring a triangle, right? If you're laboring a triangle and you see that the trend line broker in the RSI, but the price has no, that means to you that that's no longer a triangle. All right? Did I answer your question, your three questions? Do you understand it? The RSI is more important than price, guys. I want to ask you, I want to tell you guys that. Now, I got another question for Kristen, but I got to open my email. One second. I got to open my email here. In order to answer. Let me see, Kristen, if I can open the chart right here. Let me see. I know that good in this. Let me see if I can open the chart and amplify this chart right here. You see, I'm good in that. Now, it say, you need to hear me now with what you're thinking, because maybe I don't get the question. What you're trying to say right here. Question is, in this situation, how do you determine which is the correct path because RSI not breaking the high? Right here, you say, let me know if I'm correct or wrong. I see that you're saying that you got this peak, this low, and because the RSI is not breaking the high, you want to know which one is the correct path, right? You got to go with the double. You got to go with an extension here. In other words, A, B, C, W, S, A, B, and a C higher. The blue one for me is the right one. As far as this low is present there in the RSI. That was your question, right? That's what you're thinking? Exactly. That's why the stop loss are all about it. Now, another hint that you can get there is this, guys. Look, in laboring in the RSI, you see that you need to have a swing here, right? These are trick. You see that you have a swing right there, Kristen. In other words, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Remember that in an RSI, there cannot be divergency in the double correction in the top right here cannot be divergency. I would go with the blue one, yes. Even if it proved me wrong, I was wrong. Listen, there is no technique in laboring that is 100% one. Only always doing the same technique and following the same rules make you successful. And remember what it's all about it. It's all about it being right more than being wrong. All right? That's what it's all about it. Being right more than being wrong. And I mean, at this stage, as far as your connector is there, Kristen, you got to go with the extension of the trend. The other thing why is because you see how this one, you see that the first leg is in 3 ways. You see it? A, B, C. This read is lower than this one. Right? That makes this move a three-way move. You gotta go with extension here. Now, technically, it did the 7 swing because it did. You know what it went down now that I'm looking more at the chart? It did 1, 2, 3 connector, A flat, and a C. So technically it did a double correction. That's what it went down after. Don't you see the 7 swing here? 1, 2, 3 connector A, B, C. You see it? That's Aussie, right? It did not break the high in the RSI. I agree with you. Sometimes it's going to happen. But most of the time you're going to be, yeah, that's tricky there. Honestly, that's very tricky. That's Aussie, and I believe that I was calling also 105 at that moment. That was the equal legs. I was calling 105, right? Exactly. Because I was thinking the same way. I was thinking a move, but you know what? Something that I was explaining today at the room that I want you guys to understand. I mentioned today on the room that I'm not using a stop anymore in my trading. Why? Because this technique in the RSI is more superior to the old-fashioned technique. Right here, if you long, you know that as far you have to be long as far as this is in place or as far as this is in place. That's the continuation of your trend. Now, when the RSI break below this level, you get out of there. You see what I mean? Now, let me go for more questions here, guys. You're welcome, my friend. That's very tricky. I mean, I don't know, and I'm going to be honest with you guys because I always are. And Clifton, you are the best person to know how I am. Sometimes you guys don't know that. Back some months ago, I went off one day and say that the signals that we were sending that were not good. Even this is my service. And nothing against the person. I love the person. But a person needs to be honest 100%. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, I got away a little bit for explain the RSI, me, Daoud, everyone on the rooms. It's because we don't want to create confusions. This is very difficult to understand. And then everyone wants to learn and want to have an opinion and understand, but it's very hard to understand it. And consequently, I went away to explaining too much into the RSI because I don't want to create or open a Pandora box when everyone is confused. But if you follow those simple rules, you're going to be good. I mean, you're going to be right more than wrong, to be honest with you guys. Now, I got another question here. Well, I got 2 or 3 more questions. This one, okay. It say the question. I have a question loosely related to the RSI. Yesterday, you mentioned momentum with price velocity. All right. This is how it is. Many of you guys know that I have a background in engineer, right? And consequently, that's math. Now, if you apply simple rules that happens in the world, those rules uh, those laws, better say, or rules, whatever we want to call it, there is the Newton's one. They are based in motion. They are based in momentum. All right. So the guy that developed the RSI, he was a smart guy, but he didn't discover or develop nothing that he didn't develop nothing that it was uh, new. Technically, any force or momentum is nothing more than the mass plus acceleration. All right. If you take mass and you put acceleration over, you multiply then you're gonna get momentum. You're gonna get a force. So that's what the guy in the RSI technically did. That's his discovery. All right. F is equal N plus A. That's and force, and then momentum is the force plus a space. If you take a space times force, that give you momentum. You know that. So technically, that's what I did. I started the RSI. And I discovered, I think that I have the formula here. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's not get, let me look at it here better. You guys are going to see what I mean. And this is a different thinking. This is my thinking. Nobody has done this before, honestly. Okay. If you look at it, all he did was incorporate time to the formula that I've been telling you, which is that F is equal N plus A. Now, what is the space here? Is the time. Let me know, guys, any question, because this is very deep. But I know whom is going to follow me because he has a background also in engineer. Now, trading, it goes in a linear way. In a way that is either up, down, or sideways, but even when it's sideways, it has a trend. For me, the trend is related to momentum, because in the basic simple, momentum goes with the trend. Correction do not lack momentum. And then I develop a table when I put how much each bar run in a specific time frame. And I confirm that with the RSI. And that's how you guys can see how we are able to code the trend the way we do it. Did I answer your question? Now, you asked me momentum indicator. I haven't used any. I use the RSI. But if you have any that you want me to look at it, I can look at it for you. And I can give you my honest opinions there. Did I answer your question? The RSI is the best that I see. Maybe I haven't looked at it, but maybe Isino has it. So technically this guy, all he did was all he did, but I cannot go in a room when there is 100 people on and go like that deep. I'm sorry, because that create a Pandora box and people drive crazy. Regular people doesn't know that momentum is nothing more than a force times a space. Regular people doesn't know that the force is mass times acceleration, and doesn't know that acceleration is the first derivation of the force or of the speed. Regular people don't know that. So you gotta go playing with humans, because I didn't know that unless I went to the school like I did. So I think it's enough for us to give the trend based in our equation and the RSI, and then that's enough. So what he did in the RSI is he get, I think that he did it. He didn't want to show that his thinking was behind a simple universal rule, that is that force is nothing more than mass times acceleration. And then he said how much you advance against how much you retreat, that give you a closing basis. But at the end, I believe that the idea behind everything is that. You see what I mean, right? Exactly. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And that's what people don't get it. That doesn't matter how much you travel in a space or time. What it matters is the strength of the travel. For example, if you go in the weekly chart doesn't matter up to Friday, 5 p.m. You see what I mean? Doesn't matter what the price does in between. What it matters is what it does at Friday, 5 p.m. You got the concept, right? All right. Anybody has a question about that? Okay, let me move on to the next question. Guys, questions. I'm running at it. I know that some of you guys a lot of questions there. Okay, I got this question. In regards to the leading diagonals, uh, is it fair to say that they usually do not show RSI? No, diagonal always needs to show RSI divergence. Always need to show RSI divergence. Always need to show RSI divergence. Always. Now you said which New Zealand chart? The one for today, Merrick? Which New Zealand you're referring to? Okay, let me see if we can find it. Where? Right here? From where? If it was 2 days ago, well, 2 days ago should be around here. Look, if your question is that this is an ending diagonal, okay, you save data. But a leading diagonal or the ending diagonal always needs to have divergency. That's a requirement. Believe me, that's the requirement of the ending and leading diagonals. Any other question? 4-hour charge on New Zealand. There we go. Let's go over there. Yeah, there is one to the top, one to the bottom, right? Which one of the two? This one or this one? Which one of the two, Mary? If I put the RSI, okay, there is divergency here, look. It has to have. Same way that there is divergency here. You see it? There always needs to be divergency in the diagonals. Always. Always. Look. You see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 5 swings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. That's your diagonal there. Any other question, guys? We got 20 more minutes. Any other question that you guys have? Come on, guys. Three persons only asking questions. There is a lot of there. It's unbelievable what's taking place in the market, guys. Unbelievable. I don't wanna get there. That's unbelievable. Any question, guys? Come on, huh? You should have a bunch on it. There you go. Now I got 7 questions. No, I said I'm gonna talk about the unbelievable stuff. I say no market question, but I'm looking at screens in front of me, and it makes me laugh, to be honest with you guys. It makes me laugh. So let me answer some questions here. The first one, Eric, I'm not done yet with the course. Okay, your excuse for the questions. I know. Okay, another one. With the relation to the stochastic RSI, So could you briefly go over the counting of the way the cycle expression with the snake things oversold? Okay, that's perfect. Let me explain to you what. Let me look New Zealand here. You mean this? Okay, the stochastic RSI in the 5-way move, it will give you this setup. Right here. It will give you that setup, the stochastic RSI. Now, what happened is that this move here is wave 1 to wave 3. And then when that happened, this indicator become obsolete, doesn't work. Why? Because it's when you get the snake, like you call it, it's because you are in the middle of the wave 3. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Look at the indicator from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You see it, Naomi? You see it? Everybody see it, right? Now, let me put another simple one. Doesn't matter the time frame. The idea of the time frame and the stochastic RSI is the same. You need to outgrade and downgrade the trend. For example, right here, look. Look at the stochastic RSI. You have from the real low, 1, 2, 1, 2. You see the 3? Wave 3 is the snake. Exactly. Wave 3 is the one that is going to give you the snake. So you see how the snake is here? Because you are in the wave 3. Now, it went lower here is because the cycle from here, look, 1, 2, the snake, a 4, and a 5 with divergency. This is a complete cycle. Now, you see how it went back lower again? It's because right here, you got a nest. 1, 2, 3, it got lower, and then you got your 5. You guys see it? Everybody see it? Now, no matter, Francesco, if it's in 1 or 4 hours, that doesn't matter. Why? Because if you go to the 4 hour there, you're going to see it oversold. You see it? No, wave 3 is, like I always say, the stochastic RSI and every indicator, but the RSI, they become obsolete. MACD, everything become obsolete. That's why I don't use it. Anybody got that one? So you see the snake here, you realize you selling it because you see it oversold. That's why you don't trade against the trend. because the trend do not believe in indicators. People don't get it. Why you guys believe that the brokers all they give you is indicators? Why the brokers doesn't come to Elliott Wave Forecast and say, okay, guys, I'm going to pay my clients their membership and they're going to follow your charge? Why they don't do that? Any idea? It's clear. Don't you see, home? It's clear. Because they want to trade against you. That's as simple as that. Don't use, now, as far as you go with the trend, all you need to do is every time that the indicator get oversold or overbought against the trend, you sell it. And that way you're going to be correct. But as far as you identify that the trend change, you get out of there. Because it doesn't matter that it's overbought or oversold. Look, he doesn't believe in that. A wage tree always going to push this and create the snake. Everybody got that one, right? Any other questions? Thank you, Naomi. Yeah, that's no everyone understand that. It's simple. That's simple. You got an outtrend. Why do you think that Lewis sent the long dollar yen? You got an outtrend. You got always soar against the trend. You buy it. You buy it. That's all you need to do. You don't need to be a genius. You go with the trend and you use the stochastic average properly in order to, as far as you know your trend, you use it properly and you know that you always gonna be on the right side of the market. That's all you need. That's all you need. Honestly, all you need. You don't need nothing else than that. Any other question, guys? We got 9 more minutes, guys. Any other question? I hope, honestly, that the class for real has helped you guys to be, I mean, to be better and to be able to make more money. Because I think that it should help you guys to make more money, the class. Now that there is some things that can be missing, that's why we're doing this review. That you're always gonna be correct 100 times? Absolutely no. We all lose trades. Me, Luis, Daoud, everyone, Claudio, we all lose trades. The bottom line is that we know when to get out of the trade or when to stray with the trade. And we are trained traders. We don't trade against the trend. That's the bottom line. And believe me, that makes a huge difference. A huge, huge difference when you are a trained trader. Not really. Naomi, look, let me pause. To trade in the biggest time frame is the same as trade in the smallest one. Everything comes to money management. S&P, let me, don't say that. Everything comes with the money management. Because doesn't matter the time frame. What matters is the size of your account and the size of your risk. If you're going to risk 3% of your account, is the same, Naomi. If you take 100p stop loss, or if you take 10p stop loss, it is the same. It is the same concept. Now, let's take a look at the euro. All right? Let's say that you want to take the daily long. The daily long comes over here. You see? Now, this is your stop loss. But you got to use what we show you and what we teach you in the class. You got an A and a B. You got an A and let's say a B to the 50 back. You know that he cannot pass these levels right here. I mean, below 125, you should be uncomfortable already, to be honest with you. Now, you're going to say, I'm going to take a daily long right? And then your first position is 125. All right? First position is 125. You're going to say, I'm going to add the 618. I'm going to put my stop 126. I'm going to put my stop at 124. Looking 135. The first thing you do is you count here and you say, my account yes, you say, my account is, let's put in a small one, $5,000. I'm going to risk 3%. That's equal $150, right? Am I correct? You say, I'm going to buy at 126. I'm going to put my stop 124.50. So you say $150 divided by the amount of pit that you have, which is $150 stop loss, equal your lot size, which when you divide that, it say that you need to trade with 1 mini lot. And then you take in a long swing with a $5,000 account. Now, what people make mistake is that that they want to take, when people make mistake is that they want to take with a 5,000 a long daily with the same side that if we're taking a 15-minute trade. You see, Naomi Hung, that's how you do it. That's money management. So it doesn't matter the size of your account to take a swing. Now, the difference is that if you taking, let's say you want to wait for the euro to do this and re-enter, your original position is going to be bigger than in the daily swing. That's the only difference. Right? Exactly. I was telling today, guys, in the room, that the market is evil. And the lower the time frame, the more evil it becomes. I got no doubt about the long right here in the 4 hour and in the daily. Now, the 1 hour, it give you a ton of dance that drive you crazy. Right? Now, last question that I got is, in a triple zigzag, can the RSI reading pass the RSI reading pass the beginning? In other words, what you're saying is, if this X, if this S, let me see, can pass this? No. No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. No problem. That's what we hear, Mary. Okay, guys. So I gotta go 1 p.m. I hope that you guys found this useful and watch those 18 hours or 16, whatever it was. Watch it 4, 5, 7 times. Follow the RSI as much as you can, and you guys are gonna find a lot of answers there. It's gonna make you a better waiver. A waiver. Thank you're welcome. A waiver without RSI is not a waiver. Always remember that I always say that. Waves are momentum, and they are an interaction of momentum. When you don't use it, something that show you momentum, you're wrong. But what? 1930 Elliott Wave do not use momentum. That's what I say. I appreciate everything. But I believe that they were lacking that. All right. Thank you, guys. See you guys Sunday.